National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025.
We do have one bill, which is the Closed Circuit Television Public Protection Bill, which is coming up at third reading stage, and this is the National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2025.
So after consideration of those bills, we have resumption of debate on the report of the Committee on Cabinet Affairs on the review of the management and operations of the Office of the Public Protector.
And when business resumed, we did see two ministerial statements. The Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security. This one was on the loss of lives following a clash between illegal miners and police at Kikonge Gold Mine in Mufumbwe District.
Mr. Speaker.
Well, thank you so much for still being with us on Parliament Television. Business cannot resume. This is due to lack of quorum on the floor of the House. It is a requirement going by our standing orders that 1/3 of the total number of members of Parliament be present for any business to be transacted on the floor of the House. So we're talking about business that was considered on the floor of the House earlier on. If you just joined us, we had the ministerial statement which was rendered on the floor of the House by the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security. This is Honorable Jack Mwembu MP. This was on the loss of lives following a clash between illegal miners and police at Kikonge Gold Mine in Mufumbwe District.
Another ministerial statement that was delivered on the floor of the House did come from the Minister of Green Economy and Environment, Mr. Mposha, on the heavy, Honorable Mposha. It was on the heavy metal poisoning of the Mwambashi stream and Kafue River in the Copperbelt province. So those are the two ministerial statements that were delivered on the floor of the House. And so a brief, recap of these ministerial statements will be given to you at the time that we'll be adjourning.
And earlier on, Madam Speaker did make 3 announcements where she recognized the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Angela's Primary School in Ndola District and Rainbow School Limited. And lastly, it was Wandi School of Lusaka District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, Madam Speaker did warmly welcome the visitors to the Assembly.
So as soon as the quorum is constituted, business will resume. We would urge you to stay tuned right here on Parliament Television as the House is considering a motion that has been moved by Mr. Mutinta, that's Twambo Mutinta, and seconded by Mr. Kasandwe, urging the House to adopt the report of the Committee on Local Governance, Housing and Chiefs Affairs on the report of the Auditor General on the construction, rehabilitation and maintenance of urban and peri-urban drainages, that's 2020 to 2023, for the 4th session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th July 2025.
We expect a resumption of debate for the motion of 9th July 2025, coming from the chairperson, who is the one who presented this report. And this is from the Committee on Cabinet Affairs on the review of the management and operations of the Office of the Public Protector. 3 bills are coming up. We do have the Supplementary Appropriation 2025 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2025 coming up at second reading. We also have the Animal Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025 coming up at second stage reading. The last one is the Closed Circuit Television Public Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2025, and this one is coming up at third reading stage.
Just now, we're almost getting started with the resumption of business. Do stay tuned right here on Parliament Television.
When business was suspended, the House was considering the motion moved by the Honourable Member for Itestesi that this House adopts a report of the Committee on Local Governance, Housing and Chiefs Affairs on the report of Auditors General on the construction, rehabilitation and maintenance of urban and peri-urban drainages 2020 to 2023 for the fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th July 2025, and the Honourable Member for Chama South was debating. May the Honourable Member continue?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just ended at saying that there is need for local authorities or indeed Ministry of Local Government to ensure that there is enforcement when it comes to planning regulations. We have a lot of our citizens that are building on the drainages. Your report is indicating and recommending that there is need to establish structures specifically to oversee the drainage system in the country. To the contrary, Honourable Speaker, structures are already there. We have the departments of engineering, almost all the local authorities. We have planning departments, in almost, including directors, in almost all the planning authorities. What we simply need are these departments to ensure that they enforce the law. Honourable Speaker, another point that I want to mention. We have the problem also with engineers that design our roads. I'll give you typical examples. When you are driving on Omoso Tunya Road, going to Lewanika Road, there's a slope there. Similarly, if you are coming from Tokyo Way, coming to Lewanika Mall, there's another slope. Check the drainage that has been constructed there. It's leading nowhere. You design a drainage that is not leading anywhere. The situation is the same on Kafiwe Road. If you check Cosmopolitan Mall, when it rains there, it becomes more like a lake. I remember our colleagues, when that area get flooded, they could shout, "Pabwato, Pabwato, Pabwato," a few years ago. Because of the lack of the drainage in the area. So, in short, Honourable Speaker, there is need for engineers to relook at the entire topography of our settlements. Typical example, Lusaka. Honourable Speaker, we have encroached even on the land that is supposed to be feeding us. Lusaka West was designed for farming activities. This is the reason why you find good black soils in Makeni area going all the way to Apollo along Old Mumbwa Road. Those are supposed to be farming areas. The growth of the city is supposed to be gravitating towards eastern side, Mekango area, because those areas are slopey. To design drainages in such areas, it's very easy. The water will easily collect. But for Lusaka, Honourable Speaker, we only have Bombay drainage. You can imagine putting drainage infrastructure all the way, because Lusaka has grown, Kamara South into Bombay drainage. There's an area in Kamara South which becomes waterlogged during rain season. People abandon their homes. So there's need, I think, for engineers and planners to sit down and plan. Unfortunately, it will need resources. To do that, we need resources. Foreign governments have come in to help us. but we need to take a lead. We need to plan, put resources for the same. I submit and support the report, my Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Member for Chiluvi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving the people of Chiluvi an opportunity to add the voice on this important motion. Mr. Speaker, we seem to be mopping the water from a leaking tap. Why I say so, Mr. Speaker, is that we have overlooked a lot of things in the manner that we are tackling this particular issue. Mr. Speaker, I say so because there are laws that we have not taken seriously.
There is a point of order by the Honorable Member for Mitete.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Totally sorry to the Member of Parliament who is just started his debate. Mr. Speaker, Standing Order number 71, facts. It is true that Mukema Ward in Kasempa has been won and opposed by Upnd. I sat here waiting to hear congratulatory messages from both the right and the left. No one. Allow me, before I finish my point of order, to congratulate Upnd and the New Dawn government for winning Mukema Ward, and you opposed in Kasempa, sir. In Kasempa, where there is gold rush. But is the house in order, both sides, even the one who was just started debating, not to congratulate the Upnd and the New Dawn government for winning Mukema Ward. Mr. Speaker, I seek your serious ruling on this matter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I know the Honorable Member that was on a lighter note because it's not something, it's not a breach that has been caused on the floor of the House. However, congratulating the party, I think you are not out of order. I think this has always been a practice. As honorable members are debating, they usually congratulate each other. That brings a lot of peace and ensuring that there's tranquility on the floor of the House. So you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I was distracted. Yeah, I didn't know even about that. My eyes are focused on 2026. I was saying, Mr. Speaker, that we are mopping the water from a leaking tap. And while we are mopping water from a leaking tap, let us take an example of Lusaka. Lusaka, or Zambia in particular, generally, so to speak, not in particular, stood at 3.5 million people at independence. And from there, the population has been growing. And Lusaka was just a small portion. Today, we are talking to closer to 3 million people in Lusaka. Now, we had Dr. Kaunda and his team. They had declared certain settlements as legal. For instance, Kaunda Square here in Lusaka was given a status of that sort. Dr. Kaunda even contributed some building materials for people to settle in there. And that is planning. And that was captured from Town and Country Planning Act. Now, from that time, Mr. Speaker, we have had mushrooming, compounds coming as a result of rural-urban drift, following different things like employment and all sorts of life opportunities. Given that background, Mr. Speaker, we have seen that population has also put pressure on infrastructure. Population has also put pressure on garbage piling. Population has also put pressure on a lot of resources. What we have been doing as a country, especially what the report has captured, peri-urban and urban, is where we are reactive. We find people have already settled already. Now we want to create an outlet, and we feel that that tunnel, which is passing in Cairo Road, which is the widest here in Lusaka, and in terms of those which are covered, I'm not talking about Bombay, you find that it is not, one, it's not maintained. Two, it has been maintained years back. And even when we respond to it, is where we have problems in Kanyama. When cholera is knocking in Kanyama, that is when we choose to attend to see where else can we pump water out of such an affected area. We have been reactive, as someone said, and I would like to borrow those words, as opposed to proactive. Mr. Speaker, this now brings us to a station where we need to start analyzing how do laws like the Local Government Act of 2019, amended number 2 of 2019, fit into the problem we are dealing with. How do laws like town and country planning, which have got a semblance of the colonial era, fit into the problem we are dealing with? Now, in looking at all that, the Constitution was amended in 2016, and we have in there an Article 152, which positions the local authorities as in charge of such matters as we are discussing today. But that goes with structuring, planning, budgeting, and financing. How much have we taken up to leave the local government with proper leverage so that it can do as it has been planned, as it has been envisaged in the Constitution? Article 52 clause, Article 152 clause 2 says the government and the central government and the provincial administration shall not interfere with or compromise a local authority's ability or right to perform its functions. But of course, the same article in clause 1 states the functions as it may be. But we find that when we look at all these factors, the Constitution has created a map. It has created a legal framework. How are all these subsidiary laws supporting the Constitution? So that at the end of the day, the legal framework and the policy framework is in tick with what we are doing. We will continue. Even next year, we'll come and talk about drainages in the peri-urban, in the urban, and we will not find the answers because we have not responded realistically to population. We have not responded realistically to how the infrastructure is positioned, but we are responding to a resultant force called drainage. Drainage is created because there are people who are every day consuming food and also throwing out wastage, and drainage is supposed to respond whether liquid material or other things so that it takes away from where the people are dwelling and there is healthy commanded there. But we have created deliberate vulnerability because we have ignored things that are supposed to help us. And these things are about the law. Once we ignore the law and we are very relaxed, we overlook, we treat a local government as a pedestrian, local authority as a pedestrian organ of government, and we do not give it the leverage and the premium that it deserves. As a result, you find that there is too much interference with the central government, with the local government. There is too much interference with provincial administration to the local government. And at the end of the day, the local government is deprived of the resources that it's supposed to do. And therefore, compromising its ability to perform the functions that the Constitution has mandated it to do. We do not, even when they collect this revenue, all the avenues of collecting revenue, they end up being in the central arrangement. And I think when we look at such, there is need that we start addressing things and naming them for what they are. We will have this problem as far as we don't attend to a lot of these loose notes that some of them have tried to mention. Mr. Speaker, I know that in the interest of time, which cannot allow, I would have loved to go on and on, but I support the report, but with those observations and reservations. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Acting Minister of Local Government and Rural Development to respond.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, I wish to acknowledge and appreciate the mover of the motion and the seconder, as well as all the honorable members of Parliament that have debated to this motion. Let me also take this opportunity to appreciate the committee that deliberated over this motion. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has a broad mandate premised on delivery of municipal services and infrastructure development through local authorities to effectively and efficiently contribute to sustainable socio-economic development. Among the issues that we are mandated to do have been discussed, and I was taking note, and much of it will take them to the ministry to act upon them. This broad mandate, Mr. Speaker, includes infrastructure development, especially the construction, maintenance and rehabilitation of drainages, as reported by the Committee on Local Governance, Housing and Chiefs Affairs. Mr. Speaker, drainage infrastructure plays a critical role, not only in terms of increasing the lifespan of our roads, but also in terms of the promotion of public health of our people, especially those in urban and peri-urban areas. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, therefore, wishes to thank the committee for the guidance given on the need to provide policy guidance to our local authorities with respect to the construction, maintenance and rehabilitation of the drainages in urban and peri-urban areas, as this will provide a standardized way of managing this critical infrastructure across the country. My ministry further wishes to commit that local authorities that have not made a provision for construction, rehabilitation of drainages in their integrated development plans, IDPs, will have their documents revised to accommodate this need. Mr. Speaker, the drainage infrastructure is quite expensive to construct and maintain as well. And sometimes local authorities may not have sufficient funds from their local resources to undertake this important assignment. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development takes note of the guidance given by the committee to engage ward development committees and make them see the importance of utilization of constituency development funds on the construction, maintenance and rehabilitation of drainage infrastructure, like has been demonstrated in Chingola constituency, in many wards where drainages have been constructed using constituency development funds. Mr. Speaker, it is my sincere hope that my fellow members of Parliament will support this initiative, bearing in mind that they play a critical role in the decision-making process on the programming and utilization of CDF. Mr. Speaker, this CDF has seen an improvement in the construction of drainages and improvement of sanitation in different constituency areas of Chingola constituency, namely Chingola Central Ward, thank you, Mr. Speaker, Chingola Central Ward and Chabanyama Ward, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Traditional leaders also play a key role in the socio-economic development of their chiefdoms, which includes coordinated planning on the construction of drainages. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has therefore stated, having conversations with the traditional leaders on the importance of signing planning agreements in accordance with the Urban and Regional Planning Act, number 3 of 2015. Through these planning agreements, the Ministry hopes that traditional leaders will consent to having standard spatial and socio-economic plans for their chiefdoms, which will include planning where every infrastructure, including roads and drainages, ought to be in their chiefdoms. Mr. Speaker, this conversation has commenced, and so far, our Royal Highnesses are fully committed and appreciate the importance of having these agreements. Mr. Speaker, management of drainage infrastructure is not just a responsibility of government alone, and as such, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development will continue to engage all relevant stakeholders to ensure that we have a common and integrated approach to taking care of our drainage infrastructure. Part of the problem to maintaining drainage infrastructure includes the indiscriminate disposal of plastics, which ultimately causes blockages, leading not only to poor functioning of the limited drainage infrastructure, but contributes to damaging it as well. To this effect, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development will continue to undertake awareness messages on the importance of ensuring that drainages are not made disposal sites for garbage, let alone plastics. So far, a number of key messages have already been developed, courtesy of the Keep Zambia Clean campaign. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I want to thank the committee for the valuable guidance it has provided to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development on this very important subject of construction, maintenance and rehabilitation of drainages. Following the Auditor General's report of the financial year 31st December 2020 to 31st December 2023, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, working with other key stakeholders, will ensure that the committee's recommendations are fully implemented. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
The Honourable Member for Itasty's wind-up debate.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And I would like to thank the Vice Chairperson for seconding the report. And I would want to extend my appreciation to the Honourable Members of Parliament who ably debated, all of them appreciating the report. Honourable Member of Parliament for Kabwata, thank you. And he emphasized, Mr. Speaker, the need for maintenance of these drainages, and also he also emphasized the need for considering that the way our people dispose this waste is done in a manner that do not worsen the situation. I also want to thank the Honourable Member of Parliament for Kanyama, the headquarters for flooding, also who bemoaned the quality works which are done by most of these councils in the management of these drainages. Honourable Member of Parliament for Chitambo, who also appreciated this report, and the Member of Parliament for Chama South, and also Chirubi Member of Parliament, who also agreed to the contents of this report. Honourable Minister, thank you for the assurance given that your ministry is going to address the many challenges that have been highlighted in this report, but more important is the point that you've raised, that the IDPs that most of these councils have, they will be revised so that they encompass issues around drainage management and the need for WDCs and many stakeholders like chiefs come on board so that we address the challenges that our cities are facing with regard to drainage management in our country. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and I beg to move.
I put the question. The question is that this House adopts a report of the Committee on Local Governance, Housing and Chiefs Affairs on the report of the Auditor General on the construction, rehabilitation and maintenance of urban and peri-urban drainages 2020 to 2023 for the fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th July 2025. As many as of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. The clerk will now read the orders of the day.
The Supplementary Appropriation 2025 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2025, second reading.
The Honourable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be now read a second time.
The question is that the bill now be read a second time. Any debate? The Honourable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Mr. Speaker, following approval of the Supplementary Estimates number 1 of 2025, that will provide additional resources with which to carry out essential services by the government during the financial year ending 31st December 2025, I now have to return to this chamber with the necessary legislation to give effect to the resolution of the House. Mr. Speaker, the bill before the House, therefore, is intended to authorize supplementary expenditure from the consolidated fund not exceeding the aggregate 33,577,125,966 kwacha. Mr. Speaker, the supplementary estimate of expenditure number 1 of 2025 has been thoroughly debated in this House, and I do not expect it to attract another debate, and accordingly, I beg to move.
Any further debate? The Honourable Member for Lunte.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in offering support to the Honourable Minister of Finance, I have two questions to ask. One question is based on the object of the bill, and another question is based on head 31. Honourable Minister, the object of the bill is to authorize supplementary expenditure from the consolidated fund of monies required for the services of the Republic during the financial year ending on 31st December 2025 in excess of monies appropriated for the services of the Republic by the Appropriation Act 2024. Honourable Minister, from what I understand, the Appropriation Act 2024 provided for money to be utilized in 2025, from 1st January to 31st December. This particular bill is seeking approval for money to be offered over and above what was provided in the Appropriation Act 2024. In other words, what was provided in the budget for 2025. Honourable Minister, in this is the expenditure side of the supplementary appropriation. On your income side, you have a number of a total number of 33.6 billion, same as this. In that number, you have got a number of 11 billion kwacha, specifically 10.99 billion kwacha, which is money declared savings from the 2025 budget or declared savings from the 2024 Appropriation Act. Honorable Minister, I want to put it very clearly to you that that 11 billion is already sitting in the Appropriation Act 2024, and you are providing it again in the supplementary budget, in the supplementary appropriation budget. My question, for which I will seek an answer: how can you have 10.99 billion in both the Appropriation Act and the Supplementary Appropriation Act for the same year? Question number one.
Point of order.
Question number two, Mr. Speaker. It's based on...
There is the Honourable Member for Lunte. There is a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I find it very difficult to appreciate the submissions of my colleague, who is a member of the committee that recommended and supported this particular motion. Is it in order to start questioning the Minister of Finance, questioning his own recommendation as a member of the committee? I don't have a specific provision, but I take that you can take judicial notice pertaining to the precedents and the practices of this House. Is it in order to start questioning figures which he already agreed, instead of debating?
To start with, as much as the rules allow members of a particular committee to debate a report on the floor of the House that you were part of as a member, the principle that are enshrined in the standing orders is that you don't go against your own report, neither do you question the standing of the same report. So the Honourable Member for Lunte should desist from such practices. When you are part of the committee and the resolution has been made, you are part of it, you can't go against your own report. So let's ensure you debate within your context of the report, because you are part of the people that agreed to it. So let's ensure that you oblige to my guide. You can proceed.
Mr. Speaker, thank you so much. I think I didn't finish reading the object of the bill or the content of page 1. Mr. Speaker, this particular bill was signed by MD Kabesha, Attorney General. Mr. Speaker, I don't belong to any committee with Mr. Kabesha, but I'll proceed.
But Honourable Member, that's why, you know, I've guided you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So if you want to proceed, don't
Thank
go
you, Mr.
against
Speaker.
my
Mr.
guidance.
Speaker, Head 31, Minister of Justice, Legal Services. Honourable Minister, you have provided an amount of 60 million kwacha to supplement legal services. And I have in mind the legal battle in South Africa, where government is, listing the people to sue and then adjusting them, and government may adjust again. I just wanted to be clear.
Honourable Member, may you take your seat? So I've curtailed your debate. Honourable Member for Chiruvi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll also raise questions. as to the process, and many of them will be based on what our Constitution states. Mr. Speaker, our Constitution in Article 8, which talks about national values, states that it has got principles in there, and it has led to the principles. But further, Article 9, Clause 1 of the Constitution indicates that requires that every government arm and every government institution to implement programs of government should follow the national values. I know that some people may think that I'm starting very far, but I'll qualify. Mr. Speaker, what I'm talking about is that Article 9, Clause 1A talks about the national values shall apply in interpreting the same Constitution. Then it also shall apply enactment of laws and interpreting laws. It also shall apply in terms of government development as well as state policy. That is what Article 9, Clause 1 states. Mr. Speaker, I will start with the objective of the bill, which states the object of this bill is to authorize supplementary expenditure from consolidated fund of monies required for the services of the Republic during the financial year ending on 31st December of 2025 in excess of monies appropriated for the services of the Republic by the Appropriation Act of 2024. That is what the objective of this bill states. Mr. Speaker, when you look at Article 200 of the Constitution, it talks about a consolidation funds. And funds that are supposed to be in the consolidation fund are supposed to be credited, not debited. And it states, credited the revenues and other monies according to the Treasury, and it is not mentioning debited. It is mentioning credited. Mr. Speaker, this brings me to the issue of 10.9 billion, which has been put as part of this particular bill. The 10.9 billion, Mr. Speaker, I am a layperson. I have never done accounts, but I think it's standing on legal quagmire. Why this is there, Mr. Speaker, is that this money was appropriated in 2024, even captured in the objective. But when we look at its entry this time around, it's entering as a saving in the supplementary budget. When it's entering as a saving, to me, who is a layperson, I'm lost, according to the objective that has been stated. Further, Mr. Speaker, Article 202 of our Constitution, which is 2016 amended Constitution, is talking about the minister should specify the maximum limit that the government intends to borrow or lend in that financial year. That is Article 202. Mr. Speaker, when we look at this, we know that the budget was presented and it started this activity in January this year. And if it started this activity in January this year, I am at a loss on how we do our budget planning and many other, especially that much of what has been prepared in the bill before your house is to service debt and many other factors. This means that, Mr. Speaker, if at some point we were in a position to save a 10.9 billion, and then it is also mixed with some borrowing here and there, which gives an amount of 33 point something billion. And if you knock out the 10.9 billion, you remain with something like 22.6 billion kwacha, which is 65% of what has been proposed in this budget. To me, that is at crossroads with what is constitutionally required. Mr. Speaker, further, Article 203 states where estimates of the revenue and expenditure have been approved by the National Assembly in accordance with Article 202, where there is that one where the approval, the 205, where a Parliament approves the estimates. As National Assembly for the enactment in the appropriation bill. This particular article, Mr. Speaker, is speaking to the same factor, the constitutional arrangement. I know, for instance, that Public Account Act comes in and many other factors, but the Constitution remains supreme in the way we do things. And I think, as a defender of the Constitution, as it allows me in Article 2 to defend the Constitution, I would doubt the particular sitting of this bill, because the Constitution itself says that in Article 1, that anything that is repugnant to the Constitution or inconsistent to the Constitution should be ignored to that inconsistency. And given this background, Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to question that the budget process includes, among other things, the 8th National Development Plan and many other factors, meaning that when we reach a station like today, these things are supposed to be in tune and in tandem. But whether they are in tandem, that question can be asked by other people and the technocrats in the Ministry of Finance. I don't know if there are comparisons are being done when we are doing these things, so that at the end of the day, we are live at a station where the budget or supplementary budget is legally in tune. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning to wind up debate.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you are making another meeting, the Honorable Sanders and the Honorable Wusha. Yes, yes. May the Honorable Minister proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank the House for the support of the appropriation bill. Clearly, Mr. Speaker, if you listened carefully, the overwhelming majority of the colleagues here, they are in support, notwithstanding the fact that the two colleagues, I think, were trying to cause some confusion. But maybe that is their right to cause confusion in the House. So the matter is very simple. When we are talking about the appropriation bill, we are merely saying that after having discussed the proposed expenditures, after having discussed the accompanying measures, we are now at the stage where Parliament is to give legal effect to each and every one of those proposed expenditures. That's what appropriation means. Before that, we debated in the committees, we debated here, all the issues to do with the expenditures, like debt servicing. People asked questions, we clarified. So there is no need of causing confusion, trying to cast aspirations at the legal or asking questions as to whether what we are doing is legal or not. But this is precisely what has been happening for years and years. Honorable former minister, you are aware of that. You passed parliament here. You know what appropriation means. You defended it. Yeah, you defended it. So this is just doing what you've been doing for years and years and years. So there's no need of employing big words, employing complications. It's simple and straightforward, just giving legal effect to the expenditures that we've already debated. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
I put the question. The question is that the bill now be read the second time. As many as of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Let the bill be read the second time.
The Supplementary Appropriation 2025 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2025.
Committee stage to be taken when? The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
23rd of July, Madam Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
You said which day?
23rd.
23rd. Committee stage to be taken on the 23rd of July. Next order.
The Animal Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025, second reading.
The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be now read the second time.
The question is that the bill now be read the second time. Any debate? The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
The object of the bill is to amend the Animal Health Act 2010 so as to revise the manner of identifying and tracing an animal product and animal byproduct.
Any further debate? The Chairperson of Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources, the Honorable Member for Wengwa. If he's not around, the Vice Chairperson. The Vice Chairperson of the committee or the committee member if present. Order, avoid debating while he's seated. Order. since the member is in another committee, and the standing orders allows me to alter the progression of business, we shall go to this bill later on. Let's go to another bill. The members come? Okay. The Honourable Member for Magoe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Speech delivered by the chairperson of the Committee of Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources. Mr. Speaker, Animal Health Act number 27 of 2010 in order to align it with the I read again, Mr.
Order,
Speaker.
you are disturbing the Honourable Member.
Animal Health Act number 27.
Let's avoid debating while he's seated. And honourable members, let's avoid disturbing the honourable member. He's the one with the script, so let him continue reading.
Thank you. Animal Health Act number 27 of 2010, in order to align it with the Animal Identification and Traceability Act number 2 of 2024.
Honourable Member, proceed. You have the floor. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, speech delivered by the chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources on the consideration of the Animal Health Amendment Bill number 4.
The Honourable Member, just like I suggested, your committee put your house in order. We'll come to that. There's no harm to come to that. We'll still come back to that business. After all, the House gives the powers to the Speaker to do that. So it will still come back. Let's go to the next order. The clerk.
The Closed Circuit Television Public Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2025, third reading.
Committee stage to be taken when? Oh, sorry. Order. The Honourable Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be now read the third time.
The question is that the bill now be read the third time. Any debate on any objection? The question is agreed to. The bill be read the third time. Let's avoid debating while seated.
The Closed Circuit Television Public Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2025.
When business was interrupted, yes. Next order.
Report of the Committee on Cabinet Affairs on the review of the management and operations of the Office of the Public Protector of 9th July. Resumption of debate.
When business was interrupted yesterday, 9th July 2025, the House was considering the motion moved by the Honorable Member for Chipangali that this House adopts a report of the Committee on Cabinet Affairs on the review of management and operations of the Office of the Public Protector for the 4th session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 3rd July 2025. And the Honorable Member for Lunte was debating. May the Honorable Member continue?
Mr. Speaker, yesterday I did my best to illustrate that the public protector is underfunded. And I tried to make the case that the office should be provided with more funds so that they can be able to execute their mandate. Mr. Speaker, I expressed surprise that the Ministry of Finance, which is supposed to offer this financial enhancement, is in the forefront of claiming that the office has not justified its importance for the ministry to consider giving the office more money. I would like to appeal to the Minister of Finance to ensure that as we begin the budgeting process for 2026, which will begin in the next few months, provide a decent ceiling to the Office of the Public Protector. Honorable Minister, in this country we have too much maladministration. And you know, and many people know, that SCC and DEC, institutions which fall under the Office of the President, have their hands tied. This is why they can't make effective investigations. The Office of the Public Protector could have protected the Zambian people in the unconstitutional sale of 51% shares of Mopani. They could have protected the Zambian people in the unconstitutional transfer of the Lusaka Ndora dual carriageway, but they have no money. I wish to recommend thoroughly that this office, remember, Honorable Minister, you are paying a lot of people who are sitting in holding position at Cabinet Office. A lot, more than 400 civil servants, you are paying them every month. They are doing nothing. This office can help you twist the government, which is hell bent on illegal transactions. Honorable Minister, I thoroughly recommend that you have a heart for the Office of the Public Protector so that come next financial period, they should be able to be given equivalent funding even to the DEC, which is tied by being, by being covered under the Office of the President, just executing, instructions of the executive. Mr. Speaker, I wish to submit.
The Honourable Member for Chilubi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving the people of Chilubi an opportunity to add a voice on the report. Mr. Speaker, for starters, I would like to agree with a lot of recommendations that the the committee has talked about, Mr. Speaker, having agreed with a lot of the factors. Stop disturbing me. It's disturbing me. There are a lot of things that the report has captured. I would like to say that the report started by talking about the Article 243 of the Constitution, where it captured the creation of the Public Protector's Office. And I am more interested in Article 243, Clause 3 and Clause 4. Mr. Speaker, it is constitutional that the Public Protector's Office is supposed to be at national level. It is also supposed to be at provincial level. And further, it says that shall have a trickle-down effect to the district level. Meaning that is inviting resources on its own. Mr. Speaker, Article 243(4) states about how you should manage the finances, personnel, and other factors that are supposed to go towards the Public Protector's Office. And it says shall be prescribed, meaning that we should anchor it with an act of parliament. Mr. Speaker, what does the Public Protector respond to? The Public Protector's Office responds to what is in Part 13 of the Constitution, which are values and principles in the public service. And values and principles in the public service are professional ethics and accountability, effective implementation of government, effective and efficient implementation of government programs, fairness, legality, reasonableness. Those are factors that the Public Protector responds to. Given that particular background, Mr. Speaker, we realize that the Public Protector is amputated, has no spine, and is not responding to those. What has been the avenue for citizens? You find that some of the issues that the Public Protector is supposed to respond to are being now tackled through the avenue of judicial review by citizens, which could prove to be a very expensive undertaking, because citizens have to engage lawyers and all that for them to go through the judicial review route. We are not doing an obligation that we are supposed to do as government through the Public Protector's Office. The report, Mr. Speaker, has done a lot of comparisons in terms of how the Public Protector is funded compared to other government institutions. And the report has demonstrated, and I do agree, and borrow from what Honorable Kafuaya said yesterday, that in terms of comparison, there are those tables in the report. I'm sure those who have read can agree with me, that the Public Protector, in that race of financial commitment, has remained an orphan, but the Constitution positions it as a giant. The Public Protector, Mr. Speaker, articles, if you read articles from 243 up to 248, where the 248 they have to report to this Parliament, tabulates, and it's very clear about what's supposed to be done in that particular office. But alas, we have not paid attention because we have not committed enough resource, meaning that some of the things that we are doing are even affecting the running of government. I did mention that the Public Protector is supposed to respond to principles and values in Article 13. How do these principles and values in Article 13 help the nation? We know that this nation is grappling with an issue of corruption. And corruption can be petty corruption, corruption can be institutional corruption, and corruption can be grand corruption. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to just isolate institutional corruption and also isolate grand corruption. If we are not careful, if we can't give the public protector's office enough teeth to bite, as it has been given by the Constitution, enough teeth to bite, that this office is actually positioned as High Court. It has the same value of the High Court, according to the Constitution, not by myself. And if that's the same value like that of the High Court, and it tabulates of what is supposed to be done, meaning that it has the same powers of the High Court, that is the public protector. But we have seen that the public protector has been beaten by even officers that are just on primary investigation of crime, maybe say in the in criminal investigation or criminal law. I know that the public protector is forbidden from criminal investigation, but it has got its own department that it facilitates. But looking at such, Mr. Speaker, we will be beating or flogging a dead horse if we come today here and we say the public protector this, public protector that, and overlooking the constitutional stipulations. Because if, for instance, we take Article 244, Clause 4, you find that in there, the public protector has been given teeth of what is it that is supposed to bite. But what we are doing today, and what we are talking about today, is that the public protector has remained without teeth. In Bemba, Mr. Speaker would say, which means that it's toothless. Meaning that what is supposed to go in what is stipulated by the Constitution is not being backed by practice. Even when we meet in September, I know that the public protector will run away with a paltry amount, which it will fail to implement what the Constitution states. Mr. Speaker, I am knocking on the door of my fellow parliamentarians. I'm knocking on the door of the Minister of Finance specifically, that if we are to have some order in the civil service, we need to fund the public protector so that it can even help us in fighting institutional corruption as well as grand corruption that may be going under the carpet of the...
Order. Your time is up, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You just came here to...
The Honorable Member for Chamasau.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, let me thank the mover and the seconder of your good report on the Office of the Public Protector. What is the function of the Office of the Public Protector? I think let me start my debate from there, Honorable Speaker. We have to understand that the governance system or systems have established institutions that play the oversight. In our case, we have the three arms of government, which in an ideal situation should operate independently from one another. As Parliament, we make laws. The judiciary, Honorable Speaker, interprets the law. The executive discharge executive functions through different institutions. And it is the duty of the Office of the Public Protector to ensure that the functions that are being discharged in these institutions are in accordance with established procedures, protocols, as well as the law. In short, the Office of the Public Protector is an administrative check office to ensure that public institutions are making decisions within the confines of the law and established procedures. Therefore, their core mandate is to investigate complaints of maladministration. What defines maladministration? It's a broad context, Honorable Speaker. Decision making. Are decisions made by our institutions within the confines of the law and established procedures? Or indeed, are they ultra vires? If decisions are ultra vires, it is the functions of the Office of the Public Protector to ensure that writs, such as writs of mandamus, I know as politicians we are so accustomed to writs of habeas corpus because at times we are detained for a prolonged period of time. But among the administrative remedies to maladministration, we have other writs that are moved from the High Courts. How many of such writs have been moved by the Office of the Protector General or Public Protector? If none, does it mean that we are not making administrative errors as a nation? That should be a source of concern. If we look at the Public Protector Act number 15, which we are using now, it has spelled out their functions. Among them is to investigate maladministration in our institutions. They are supposed to have provincial offices, district offices. Section 10 has even conferred immunity on our officers in the Office of the Public Protector. The question is, are we giving them enough resources? There is this misconception which we are getting that public protector are there to detect corruption. That is the function of the Anti-Corruption Commission. Their mandate is to ensure that there is minimal maladministration in our public institutions. So indeed, when it comes to resources, we can do better, we admit. We have competing needs. No wonder certain things are implemented in phases. And we believe the Honourable Minister will look into the plight of this very important office, which is there to check the actions of policy implementers. It is for the good of the public. They are there to protect the public. But if you look at your report where they are complaining of financing, I know we have a capable Honourable Minister of Finance who has made us to navigate through a very challenging period of COVID, period of drought. Here we are. He cannot fail to do more when it comes to allocations to the Office of the Public Protector. Honourable Minister, I will be looking forward to this year's budget, which will be sitting to approve next year's budget. That resource allocation to this office should be improved, but it should also be coupled by their mandate of ensuring that maladministration in these public offices are flagged off. The Act is very clear. They should be able to publicize, disseminate information to the public on matters of maladministration. In short, the public protector is acting, as the name suggests, to protect the public from office holders who might be making decisions beyond their jurisdiction. And how many of those have our public protector flagged off? I know the complaint would be lack of finances. We expect this office going forward to ensure that it prioritizes information dissemination. Let the people first understand how important this office is. Otherwise, we can lament here if themselves have not invested in information. People always think that it's an office that is there as by the way. But it's a very, very important office. More often, as actors of administration, we do make mistakes, and this office is there to protect us. So in conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I'm in support of this report, and we wish them all the best as the government looks into their plight. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, thank you. I just hear honorable members giving accolades to Minister of Finance. But you know, the biggest problem in Africa is budget credibility, that you don't commend him for that. Because Zambia has managed in the past few years to adhere to the norms of budgeting. So I think I personally commend him for that. Her Honor, the Vice President. Her Honor, the Vice President responds, and then the member winds up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to thank the Committee of Cabinet Affairs on the review of the management of the operations and operations of the Office of the Public Protector and all stakeholders for their contributions and insights. The Office of the Public Protector is Zambia's ombudsman institution, entrusted with the responsibility of addressing grievances of maladministration by state institutions and public officials. Sorry. It is therefore dedicated to fostering an environment of good governance by building a public service that is free from maladministration. The government recognizes that maladministration is a breeding ground for corruption. I heard that corruption is away from that. But this is a breeding ground when there is a lot of maladministration. In the absence of transparency, accountability, and proper oversight, opportunities for abuse of power, authority, and office arise. I wish to reiterate that the government remains committed to addressing maladministration in order to mitigate the loopholes that allow corruption to flourish and ultimately promote good governance and public trust. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to respond to the key observations and recommendations made by the committee. Before I even do that, Mr. Speaker, I think it is important to really note the debate that has gone on, and I totally appreciate on behalf of the public protector, from the chairman, the vice chair, and even those that have debated. They have brought out very important things. I think we haven't paid a lot of attention to the public protector, particularly from the investigator general to public protector. I think we need to have clear understanding. But I'll respond to just some of them because of time. Number one, limited awareness of the Office of the Public Protector. The last debater has referred to that. I think even others by implication. The committee, I must acknowledge, notes the pressing challenge of limited visibility faced by the Office of the Public Protector. Public understanding of the office's mandate and its services remains relatively low to the public. In response to the committee's recommendation, I wish to inform the House that the Office of the Public Protector is engaging traditional leaders now, local authorities, and civil society organizations to conduct community engagement sessions across the country. These grassroots interactions are already underway and have proven instrumental in helping citizens understand their entitlement to social and administrative justice. This year, the Office of the Public Protector has signed 3 memorandums of understanding with Kitwe District Land Alliance, People's Action for Accountability and Good Governance, Zambia, and Active Green Plus Institute to strengthen the public engagements. These are NGOs. In addition to this, the Office of the Public Protector intends to roll out comprehensive national sensitization campaign aimed at raising awareness of its constitutional functions and educating both citizens and public institutions on the administrative rights and the role of the public protector. Mr. Speaker, recognizing the vital role of the media in promoting good governance, the office also plans to conduct targeted training for journalists. This will foster responsible and informed reporting on issues of maladministration and public service delivery. The office will also continue to use online platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and the institutional websites, among others, to reach the general public. Mr. Speaker, as regards the incorporation of operations of the public protector into the school curriculum, discussions have commenced with the Ministry of Education to establish anti-maladministration clubs in schools. Furthermore, the Office of the Public Protector plans to collaborate with the Curriculum Development Center to incorporate its mandate in the national school curriculum. Mr. Speaker, to bring services close to the people, the Office of the Public Protector intends to open sector desks in selected institutions where complaints of maladministration are widespread. In relation to the dissemination of investigation reports, the Office of the Public Protector recently developed a website where the public can access information about the office and lodge complaints. Mr. Speaker, in relation to the toll-free number, I wish to inform this House that the Office of the Public Protector has reached an advanced stage in establishing a toll-free line with 90% of the process already completed. A toll-free number has been assigned, and once operational, citizens will have a platform to lodge complaints and monitor the progress in their cases. Also, insufficient, I think the members have bemoaned insufficient budgetary allocation. This, Mr. Speaker, government acknowledges, because when you look at the budgetary provision, Finance Minister, you look, this is a legacy issue. It is not an issue that is noted today. If you check from 2019 to date, you will see that public protector may only end up with a fraction of what other investigative wings are getting. The other issue of concern is appointment of officers. I think to shorten this, there is, Mr. Speaker, a variance on the appointments, because in the Act, in the Public Protector Act, the appointment is put under the Parliamentary Commission. And yet the Parliamentary Commission does not have this provision. So there is a need to harmonize that. Mr. Speaker, the government approved a revised organizational structure, but if you look at currently the staffing level by this organizational structure, it is only at 65%. A big number not yet appointed. Indeed, poor salaries, from what you see, I think there is need through the Emoluments Commission to look at this. And I think this is on the table, that they are also brought nearer, if not the same as other wings. Human resource has capacity. The government, through Cabinet Office, is working closely with Office of the Public Protector to ensure that the remaining, in fact, 41 positions out of 128 is vacant. I think that is a very bad thing. The other thing I would like to mention, which the members have already debated, is the issue of decentralization. The Public Protector Office is supposed to be everywhere because, indeed, there is administration everywhere, and maladministration is everywhere. The office is working on ensuring, to start with, that there are offices at provincial level, and then they are working on getting down. But for now, they are working on bringing 3 provinces which don't have offices. And those are, I think, Northern Muchinga and Central, to make 10. Lusaka is looked after by the national headquarters. There are many things that, that were recommended, and I once again commend the committee for taking note, and you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing this to go on and looking at the management of the Public Protector. It is a very important thing that this House takes note, that Zambians can make use of the Public Protector's Office. It's a very important institution, because we wait for crimes, but they can be stopped in the nab if people are looking at how administration is going on in government. So I urge, Mr. Speaker, the House to support these ongoing efforts, as strengthening the Office of the Public Protector strengthens our democracy and improves our public trust. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The Honourable Member. Thank you, Her Honour. The Honourable Member for Chipangali to wind up debate.
I thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to wind up debate. Mr. Speaker, allow me on behalf of the Committee on Cabinet Affairs to sincerely thank Her Honour, the Vice President, for the wonderful answers that she has given us. She has given this committee so much hope, and we know that this is a listening government. Therefore, we are very sure that the budget that is going to come, we are going to see an increment for this very important office. Mr. Speaker, also allow me to sincerely thank our able Vice Chair for this committee, the Honourable Member for Mwandi, Honourable Sefulo, for ably seconding this motion. Mr. Speaker, also allow me to thank the Honourable Member of Parliament for Lunte, Honourable Kafuaya, for adding his voice to this very important topic. May I also sincerely thank Honourable Fube, the Member of Parliament for Chilubi, for equally debating this motion and supporting the report on the floor. I thank you as well, my brother from Chama South, for supporting this report. In conclusion, I'm very grateful, Mr. Speaker, to yourself and to the Clerk for the National Assembly for the support rendered to this committee. And I urge my fellow honourable members of Parliament to please support this report. I thank you.
I put the question. The question is that this House adopts a report of the Committee on Cabinet Affairs on the review of management and operations of the Office of Public Protector for the 4th session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 3rd July 2025. As many as of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Next order.
The Animal Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025. Second reading.
The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be now read the second time.
The question is that the bill now be read the second time. Any debate? The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
Mr. Speaker, the object of this bill is to amend the Animal Health Act 2010 so as to revise the manner of identifying and tracing an animal product, and animal byproduct.
The acting chairperson on Committee of Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with its terms of reference, as set out under Standing Orders 206A and 207J of the National Assembly of Zambia, Standing Orders 2024, the committee considered the Animal Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025. In order to appreciate the ramification of the bill, the committee interacted with stakeholders who tendered both written and oral submissions before it. Laid on the table of the House on the 1st of July 2025. Mr. Speaker, as the House may be aware, the Animal Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025, is seeking to amend the Animal Health Act number 27 of 2010 in order to align it with the Animal Identification and Traceability Act number 2 of 2024. Mr. Speaker, the Animal Health Act number 27 of 2010 does not define traceability, despite the law providing for the traceability of animal using an animal and animal product identification system as such. It has become necessary to amend the Animal Health Act number 27 of 2010 in order to revise the manner of the identifying and tracing animal products and animal byproducts. Mr. Speaker, it is envisaged that once the bill becomes law, it will strengthen the legal framework for animal identification and traceability and also enhance disease control measures. Mr. Speaker, the committee supports the bill, but it has made some observations and recommendations which I will now highlight. Mr. Speaker, the committee is of the considered view that once the bill is enacted into law, it will be necessary for the stakeholders to appreciate the ramification of the key provisions. This means that there is need for wider consultation from the stakeholders to enable them appreciate the benefits of implementing and enforcing the law. In this regard, the committee is commending that the government should come up with a robust sensitization program to ensure that stakeholders such as farmers, veterinarians, and industry associations are sensitized on the benefits of implementing the law. It is the view of the committee that doing so will enhance compliance and ensure effective implementation. Mr. Speaker, the committee notes that the animal identification and traceability process cannot be effectively implemented without sufficient allocation of financial resources, especially that the process will involve collecting data from the farmers. Mr. Speaker, the committee therefore urges the government to take concrete steps and ensure that the animal identification and traceability agenda is supported with sufficient resources to ensure effective implementation. Mr. Speaker, related to what I have just stated, is that the veterinary field is experiencing a shortage of qualified personnel, and the general workforce is insufficient to meet the demands of disease surveillance and control, especially in the rural areas. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, the committee is urging government to increase the workforce and recruit more veterinary surgeons and paraprofessionals to ensure capacity in disease control and ensure effective general delivery. Mr. Speaker, the committee is also greatly concerned with the cost which farmers will bear in complying with the animal identification process. This process may not be widely accepted and adopted. If this cost associated to it is high for the farmers, especially the small-scale farmers, in this regard, Mr. Speaker, the committee is urging the government to consider subsidizing the cost related to animal identification in order to ensure that a lot of farmers appreciate and own the animal identification process. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, allow me to render my most sincere gratitude to you and the Office of the Clerk and of the National Assembly for the guidance and support rendered to the committee throughout its deliberation. Further, the committee wishes to thank all stakeholders who made submissions to it during consideration of the bill. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Any debate? Any debate? I see none. The Honourable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock wind up debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock, and indeed on my own behalf, I sincerely thank you for the opportunity to wind up debate on the second reading of the Animal Health Amendment Bill 2025. I wish to thank all members that have debated before me, and I will proceed as follows. Mr. Speaker, allow me to report to the House that the bill has successfully passed through both the Internal Legislative Committee and the Cabinet Legislative Committee, receiving overwhelming support. It is non-contentious as it seeks to ensure the seamless implementation of animal traceability within our legal framework. The enactment of the Animal Identification and Traceability Act, number 2 of 2024, marked a significant milestone in advancing animal registration. This registration was designed to establish a comprehensive identification and traceability system, enhance disease control, and facilitate trade. As with any major legal reform, the enactment of this act necessitated corresponding amendments to existing laws to ensure alignment with new protocols. Consequently, attention has been directed toward...
Honourable Minister, let me guide a bit. That should have been said earlier when the objective of a bill was being presented. However, you can summarize. That should have come earlier. See what you can do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We support the repeal of Section 21 as provided in the bill. The existing definition of traceability in the Principal Act is narrow, focusing primarily on disease control. By transferring this provision to the Comprehensive Animal Identification and Traceability Act 2024, traceability will now extend across the entire animal production and food chain, from birth to slaughter and processing. In conclusion, the proposed amendments aim to harmonize the Animal Health Act 2010 with the newly enacted Animal Identification and Traceability Act 2024, fostering a unified and coherent regulatory framework. This alignment will strengthen our ability to detect, control, and prevent the spread of animal diseases while improving access to foreign livestock export markets and reducing livestock theft. We wholeheartedly support the bill and we welcome its provision. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I put the question. The question is that the bill now be read the second time. As many as of that opinion say aye, of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Her Honor, the Vice President, adjournment. Oh, let the bill be read the second time.
The Animal Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025.
Committee stage to be taken when?
Mr. Speaker, Tuesday, 15th July, 2025.
Thank you. I think the mistake came in when we made that alteration of the business. I honor the Vice President adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the House now adjourns.
The question is that the House now adjourns. Any debate, any objection? The question is agreed to. The House is now adjourned.
Thank you so much for being with us on Parliament Television. The House has adjourned till tomorrow at 09 hours. Before we leave, a recap of what has been considered on the floor of the House and business resumed at 14:30 today. There were announcements that were made by the Right Honourable Madam Speaker, and she did recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Angela's Primary School from Ndola District, Rainbow School Limited from Lusaka District, and Wandi School right here in Lusaka District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, Madam Speaker did welcome the guests to the Assembly.
We did have two ministerial statements that were delivered on the floor of the House. The first one did come from the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security on the loss of lives following a clash between illegal miners and police at Kikonge Gold Mine in Upnd District. And so the Minister did brief the House on the fact that on 3rd July 2025 at Kikonge Gold Mine site, illegal miners mobilized in order to attack the deployed police officers at the camp, and over 50,000 illegal miners had descended on the site to partake in the illegal gold mining activities, and the situation escalated and officers' lives were under imminent threat, and police attempted to restore order by using tear gas canisters to charge on the officers, and further the police attempted to restore order by using tear gas canisters and rubber bullets, but the mob continued to charge on the officers, and warning shots were fired to restore order, but the mob became unruly and continued to attack the officers. So a total of 12 police officers were injured after they were attacked by the irate mob of illegal miners, and in an effort to disperse the mob, 3 people were shot in the legs and sustained gunshot wounds. They later died due to what is believed to be excessive bleeding.
And the minister did say that the safety and well-being of the Zambian citizens is his ministry's priority and responsibility as the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security. And he did say that the ministry has noted with regret that illegal miners have continued to die in large numbers as they are not following safety protocols. We gave some figures there from 2023 to date. The country has lost more than 100 lives through illegal mining.
And so to ensure the safety of the people, the following measures have been put in place. That's deploying police officers to deter illegal miners in collaboration with the other defense and security wings, use of drones to monitor sites, sensitizing communities on the dangers of illegal mining, and engaging with local communities to encourage reporting of illegal mining activities.
And in conclusion, the minister did say that the police service, supported by the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security, remains resolute in its commitment to maintain law and order. It did say that the priority is to ensure that the safety and security of all citizens. So that was the first ministerial statement that was rendered on the floor of the House. And Claudette, we heard the second ministerial statement that came from the Minister of Green Economy and Environment. This one was on the heavy metal poisoning of Mwambeshi Stream and Kafue River in the Copperbelt province. The detail of this ministerial statement.
The minister did update the House on the series of activities that have happened to deal with the pollution incident at Sino Metals Leach Zambia Limited. He did say that on the 21st of February 2025, the Zambia Environmental Management Authority issued an environmental restoration order to Sino Metals Leach Zambia Limited. And one key requirement in the order was for Sino Metals Leach Zambia to hire an independent environmental consultant to render a comprehensive environmental impact assessment report which would define the extent of pollution.
He further talked about the preliminary measures that the ministry has put in place. He did say that during this entire period, his ministry has been collaborating with other relevant line ministries and government departments in monitoring and addressing the environmental pollution incident that occurred due to the embankment failure of Tailings Dam, TD15F, that occurred in Kalulushi district on 18th February 2025.
And so in ensuring that the safety of the people living in the affected areas are safeguarded, the ministry, in collaboration with the relevant line ministries and government departments, has put in place the following measures. That's the Zambia Environmental Management Agency directed Sino Metal Leach Zambia Limited to provide alternative potable water to the affected communities along Chambishi Stream and Mwambashi rivers. And in addition, the ministry, working with the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock and the polluter, have initiated the process of collecting fish samples that will be taken to the lab for testing.
And lastly, one of the measures, his ministry has recognized the urgent need to undertake immediate and comprehensive cleanup operations in the affected areas, particularly in response to the viable pollution that continues to pose a serious threat to public health, livelihoods, and the integrity of the ecosystems.
All right, so those were the two ministerial statements that were delivered on the floor of the House. Thereafter, we did see the Member of Parliament, Mr. Twambo Mutinta, move a motion that was seconded by Mr. Anthony Kasando, urging the House to adopt the reports of the Committee on Local Governance, Housing and Chiefs Affairs, on the report of the Auditor General on the construction, rehabilitation and maintenance of urban and peri-urban drainages 2020 to 2023 for the fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th July 2025. And this report has been duly adopted.
There was consideration of three bills, and one of the bills was the Supplementary Appropriation 2025 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2025, which came at second reading. It has passed second reading stage and committee stage to be taken on 3rd July 2025.
The other bill that was considered at a second reading stage was the Animal Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025. It has passed the second reading stage and committee stage will be taken on Tuesday, 15th July 2025.
The last bill that was under consideration was the Closed Circuit Television Public Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2025, which has passed the third reading stage.
Of course, we did have resumption of debate on the reports of the Committee on Cabinet Affairs on the review of the management and operations of the Office of the Public Protector. And this report motion has been duly adopted. Proceed.
So basically, that has been the business for today. On behalf of my colleague, Claudette Jonga, and indeed not forgetting Jason Manda and Chola Kauma. My name is Paul Sentendove and the entire production crew. Not forgetting you who have been following us on our socials, saying thank you so much for your time. Join us tomorrow at 09 hours. God bless and have a fantastic evening.